Akai Haato, a female Japanese virtual YouTuber associated with HoloLive. Please excuse any mispronunciations by TTS. The English TTS has trouble with non-English words. But, if you watch Zentreya, you should be fine. Akai Haato is a female Japanese virtual YouTuber associated with HoloLive, debuting as part of its first generation of VTubers alongside Yozora Mel, Aki Rosenthal, Natsuro Matsuri, and Shirakami Fubuki. She is also known by her chaotic alter ego, Hachima. The connection between Akai Haato and Hachima has been the subject of elaborate lore development. Welcome to your Rouge Awakening. This is Akai Haato, a sassy cowherhe. She is often prickly, but she'll try to get a lot of attention from those who have made friends with her. She loves red ribbons, and heart shapes, and she'll wear them often in her hair and on her clothes. Personality. Akai Haato. Haato appears to be a classic tsundere, who teases her fans by calling them kimo otae, creepy otaku. Among other things, and sometimes flusters easily. She is mostly calm to where others can find relaxation in her streams, with Minecraft specifically of note. She has also been referred to as Seizo, pure, by even the higher-ups, managers, etc., that they told the other Holo girls, as stated by Huishao Marine, to use her as the example of purity. When playing video games, Haato has considerably more confidence than actual skill, which usually ends up biting her in the back. She is infamous for her ear-splitting scream, and often releases these screams, even when not playing horror games. Fans refer to these brutal screams as Haato's blessings. However, after the introduction her own nickname as Hachima, around early 2020, originally intended as a less formal nickname to Haato-sama, her personality underwent a radical change to the point that the fan base started considering both Haato and Hachima as two different personas. While other HoloLive girls simply disregard the change in behavior, as Haato trying a different kind of character. But as time went on, and her channel got wilder, around mid-February 2021, it became very clear that the Haato and Hachima became separate entities, which eventually started creeping out her fellow Holo members such as Omaru Polka, and Uzura Subaru, even when they were talking to Haato. Haato typically freezes, or comes close to mind-breaking anytime she reads or repeats Hachima's name. On top of this, when her sanity is intact, and talks to Hachima, she expresses a distaste for Hachima's childishness, and games directly to her. Haato is also clever enough to take sleeping pills before bed so to paralyze Hachima when she takes over. Haato greets her viewers with, "Oh Harouge." Hachima. Unlike Haato, Hachima can be described as an eldritch baby that loves repeating her name. With a fondness for Haato's candy gothic Lolita outfit. She adopts a very childish personality, that can sometimes borderline on evil, unsettling, or insane, despite her cutesy, giggly, playful demeanor. Hachima does whatever comes to impulse. She does nothing to discourage creepy behaviors, and frequently does weird, creepy things herself, such as sniffing her own feet, and decorating her home in Animal Crossing, New Horizons, with lewd drawings of herself, and Tsunomaki Adam, and even going so far to fondle Haato's breasts whenever she feels discomfort. Though Haato compares her fans to pigs, Hachima seems perfectly content to, metaphorically but most likely literally, splash in the mud right next to them. Her sense of humor is extremely deranged, even by HoloLive standards. She often publishes short, random clips that make little sense even to Japanese listeners, sometimes pretends to be Akai Haato via a clone she made. This contrast in personality with Haato's, lead fans to joke about, Hachima killing Akai Haato. Something that she was happy to play along with, such as, pretending Haato doesn't exist, or doesn't know her name, while giggling uncontrollably, during the Trapped Haato arc, to even actually beheading her, at the end of the brief Haato's amnesia arc. She also enjoyed mocking her fans who were worried about Haato, as if the fate of Haato's life was all just a game to her. Hachima shows an extreme amount of disdain towards Haato, stemming from a currently vague promise. She loves to psychologically haunt Haato, such as leaving signs around Minecraft of her greeting, resulting in Haato subconsciously freezing, evident by her blank stares, despite not knowing clearly who Hachima is yet. Hachima also expresses a toxic sense of awareness and possessiveness over Haato's lifestyle, such as stalking and criticizing her for streaming while she's sleeping without her permission, leading to her beheading Haato in her #FreeHachima stream as punishment. The following stream had Haato's decapitated head searching for her body, and stitched back on like a Haaton. It didn't take long for more tormenting to continue. However, not all of Hachima's actions towards Haato are inherently violent or traumatizing, as in a now members-only stream simply titled Hachima tried childishly pranking Haato, and the chat by smearing lotion all over Haato so to make her think she was covered in seed when she woke up, and to frame members of the chat for it for fun. While initially vague, it became clear in a stream renamed #BadEnd, that Hachima has various reality-altering abilities, such as walking in a parallel reality to affect the real world around her, similar to a ghost or onryo, making illusions become real, such as clones, beheadings or her own physical presence and, of course, fusing herself with Haato while she sleeps to take control of her. But as powerful as Hachima is, she isn't always the smartest when it comes to controlling her surreal abilities, as during the era in which Haato was trapped inside Hachima, as seen in a now unarchived stream titled, Debut Stream #HololiveN0, she was tricked by Haato into singing Faded, by Alan Walker, which literally started fading her out of existence, and freeing Haato from her being for a few days, seemingly with amnesia. Hachima greets her viewers with Hachimachama. Shared traits. However, in spite of their extreme differences, both Haato and Hachima share some common traits such as using cropped lewd art as video thumbnails, and questionable cooking skills, as seen of various streams, previous to the introduction of Hachima, but as Hachima, she started a series of cooking videos, in which she commits unholy atrocities, ranging from boiling beef, in a mixture of Mentos and cola, melting marshmallows over sliced ham or, worse yet, cooking and eating tarantulas, and scorpions on fish and ramen. Under extreme circumstances, however, the two are capable of communicating face-to-face. Appearance. She has long blonde hair in low twin tails, and long red ribbons, with a red multi-heart scrunchie for a tiny upper pigtail, on the side of her head, and light blue eyes. She wears a short-sleeved blue and white dress, with red accents, and the upper half being tied around her cleavage. History. Background. On May 2, 2018, Cover Corporation announced auditions for a group of 5 characters, which would later become known as HoloLive First Generation. Unlike later generations, the character designs were revealed in advance, with prospective talent auditioning for specific characters. Auditions closed on May 13, with selections taking place between 9 and May 18. Of note, Nijisanji member Hoshikawa Sara also considered auditioning for the role of Akai Haato, and watched her debut. Haato's Twitter account was opened on May 21, 2018, while her YouTube channel was created on May 24. Haato made her debut stream on June 2, 2018. 2018 On December 26, Haato revealed her second 2D costume, consisting of a white dress with an optional red jacket. 2019 On January 24, Haato announced on her Twitter account that she would debut her 3D model. On the next day, she debuted her 3D model. On April 12, she announced in a stream that she would be receiving a new 3D model 15. It was announced that the debut date is April 17. On March 16, she reached 50,000 subscribers on her YouTube channel. On April 17, Haato released an update for her 3D model. On July 9, Haato showcased the swimsuit for her 3D model. It was first announced at the end of their karaoke session earlier on July 7. On September 1, she reached 100,000 subscribers on her YouTube channel. On September 30th, she announced on her Twitter account the demonetization of her channel because her ASMR videos were considered of sexual nature by YouTube. On November 13th, she introduced a stream with a no Japanese challenge playing the video game Ring Fit Adventure, where she restricted herself to only speak in English. Following this stream, she occasionally made English language content. On November 27, HoloLive official English Twitter account opened. The first tweet included a small greeting from Haato, promising more English language content in the future. On December 9, Haato created a sub-channel named Akai Haato Sub, as a result of the demonetization of her main channel in September. Her first stream took place on December 12, where she jokingly presented herself as a rookie VTuber, with plans to update both channels. Stream archives on the channel were later private at some point in 2020 for unknown reasons. 2020 On January 1 she announced her third 2D costume, which was later revealed that day during stream to be a kimono celebrating the new year. On January 24 along with the other HoloLive girls, up to the third generation, she debuted her 3D idol outfit at HoloLive's first FES non-stop story. On January 31, she announced on her Twitter account the remonetization of her main channel. On February 12, she reached 200,000 subscribers on her YouTube channel. On May 5, she reached 300,000 subscribers on her YouTube channel. On June 6, Haato debuted her first original song, Red Heart, however the full song was not released. On July 3, she reached 400,000 subscribers on her YouTube during a R18 art review stream. On July 30, she announced on her Twitter account that her original 2D model would receive an update. She debuted her updated model during a stream later the same day, jokingly posing Hi Mori Luna's and Amina Kanata's models as her updated one first. Her updated model has more facial expressions, and she can turn in more directions. On August 16, she reached 500,000 subscribers on her YouTube channel, making her the 8th member in HoloLive, and also the 3rd member in first generation to reach this milestone. On August 24, she revealed that she has to attend a 3rd grade high school exam, thereby reducing her YouTube activities. On September 27, she and Kiryu Coco were suspended for 3 weeks, preventing them from doing streaming and Twitter activities following the controversy when she and Coco displayed Taiwan in top countries, when divulging through their confidential YouTube channel's analytics, which sparked outrage from some of the PRC audience. On September 29, she reached 600,000 subscribers on her YouTube channel. On October 19, she returned to her activities with an English-only ASMR stream that was later made available to members only. On October 25, HoloLive's official Twitter account announced that she and Matsuri would receive new 2D costumes. Haato debuted her 4th 2D costume next day on October 26, a multiple-layered black and red gothic dress. The costume also includes a new hairstyle. Now using twin tails decorated with a lot of small hearts, she also has the option to wear an eye patch. On October 28, she reached 700,000 subscribers on her YouTube channel during a cooking stream. On November 27, she reached 800,000 subscribers on her YouTube channel. On December 21, Haato participated on Stage 1 of HoloLive 2nd FES Beyond the Stage, where she performed the full version of her song Red Heart. 2021 On January 10, she released the full version of her first original song, Red Heart on her channel. On January 12, she reached 900,000 YouTube subscribers during a singing stream. On February 10, she reached 1 million YouTube subscribers, making her the 8th HoloLive member to reach that milestone, and the 6th member of the Japanese branch to do so. She is also the 2nd member of Gen 1 to achieve it. The celebration stream continued the Hachima X Akai Haato story arc. On March 3, Haato unfortunately private videos relating to her Hachima x Haato saga while her plans to continue the storyline were put on hold, citing rules changes within Hololive to protect talents from YouTube's sporadic rules changes. Membership-only side content relating to the story were still available to watch after paying. For clarity, the storyline has been cut right when it twisted, and not so pure cannibalistic, third personality, either real or fake, was introduced named by the fanbase Red Heart Chan, in a stream titled, Debut Stream Hololive N 2.0 #Hololive N 0 #Team Haato. Shortly thereafter, Haato made a statement on Twitter that she would go on a journey to find herself for a while before going on hiatus. There has been no activity on her YouTube channel, or her Twitter account throughout March apart from a contracted promo tweet regarding a collaboration with Family Mart. On March 28, a select set of private storyline videos were suddenly made public again, save for the Red Heart Chan live stream. But no further new explanation was provided. On March 30, she returned to streaming, as the storyline finally reached its conclusion. In the post-storyline talk of the stream, she revealed that she lied about needing to find herself, as she already knew what she wanted to do next. She also talked about twisting her dream of becoming an anime VA into making an anime herself, and her action first, think later approach to telling the story as well as her general management of it, describing herself as a masochist under pressure, as well as how much fun it was to make the story before promising to resume more conventional Hololive streams, starting with planned super chat, and marshmallow readings the next day before cancelling it in favor of a singing stream, without informing her audience that it would kick off her new time loop horror series. On April 6, she went on another hiatus for the sake of her mental health before returning on April 26, totaling in a 3-week break. On June 3, she released her second original song Infinity, to celebrate the 3rd anniversary of her debut. On June 12, Haato announced she would go on an indefinite hiatus for undisclosed reasons during a short-lived stream, though later she attended Kiryu-Koko's graduation stream live on July 1, and Yura Hiroshia's 2nd year anniversary 3D live on July 18. On July 24, Haato returned to her streaming activities after a 6-week hiatus, which she explained as for academic reasons. Haato was not planning on returning to streaming so soon, but was persuaded by Emina Kanata, and Kiryu-Koko, to return when the three of them had meal together. Her post-return stream the following day was a Reddit meme review, originally hosted by Kiryu-Koko. On November 23, the profile picture and banner of her secondary channel were changed, with the former being the same artwork used for her Twitter banner. Then on the following day the channel was renamed from Akai Haato Sub to Hachima Darkweb CH, with the channel now being used for uploading #shorts videos. 2022 On March 24, Haato reached 1 million Twitter followers. On March 31, Hololive's Twitter account announced that Haato would get her 5th 2D costume. On April 1, Haato debuted her 5th 2D costume. In this costume Haato got a new hairstyle, using straight twin tails with long locks to the sides. Her hair is adorned by a silver tiara with red rose ornaments, and a hairpin to the left side. She wears a white and red ruffly dress, decorated with a red bow on her chest, 2 on her waist, and 2 more on the lower portion of the skirt. Her sleeves are decorated with red laces similar to the ones present in her hair in her main and second costumes. Haato uses white socks with a red outline and red shoes. Haato also carries a baton that mimics her blinks. On July 7, Hololive's Japanese Twitter account announced that the members of the first generation would get their models updated to the 3.0 version. On July 9, the members of the first generation debuted their 3.0 models. The update includes various new facial expressions including the ability to have teary eyes or stick out the tongue. They also received new visual cues to emphasize other emotions. They can also wave their hand, hold a video game controller and use a keyboard and mouse without external assets. On August 9, As part of the HoloLive Summer 2022 event, Haato debuted her second 3D swimsuit in a stream, held on HoloLive's official fan club page, in a segment alongside La Plus Darkness, Omaru Polka, and Rabako-san. Unlike the original swimsuits from 2019 that had individual designs, these swimsuits are meant to be matching outfits similar to the 3D idol costumes. The swimsuits come in two types, one with thin straps for the top, and a diagonal cut mini skirt, and the other one has ruffled straps in the top, and an even mini skirt. Both versions are white with various patterns, including HoloLive's and HoloEarth's logos. Hearts and sparks. The swimsuits are personalized by including different colors to match each talent. Additionally, they have the option to wear a hoodie. On December 25, HoloLive's Twitter account announced that Haato was tested positive for COVID-19, prompting her to take a temporary break from streaming. 2023 On January 21, Haato returned to her activities. On March 18, Haato debuted her new 3D idol costume during HoloLive 4th FES. Our Bright Parade Day 1. On March 19, Haato's manager published on her Twitter account that she would go on hiatus for a while due to poor health. On July 24, Haato's manager updated on Haato's situation, publishing on Twitter a statement made by Haato herself. In it, Haato reveals that she has been hospitalized since right after HoloLive 4th FES. And was just recently discharged, stating that while she is better, more time would be needed for her to recover and eventually return to her activities. On September 20, 2 videos, one in English and one in Japanese, were uploaded to her YouTube channel. In these videos, Haato appears talking about her prolonged break, thanking both management and fans for their support, and apologizing for not being part of the HoloLive summer activities. Haato says she is getting better little by little. Haato finalized the video asking fans to wait for her a little longer. On October 30, Haato announced her first stream since hiatus, set to November 1, 2100 hours JST. On November 1, Hachima returned with a YouTube stream attended by over 126,000 viewers at peak. This was immediately followed by a collaboration with Yoseda Pekara, Omaru Polka, and La Plus Darkness, where they played Uno. At the same time, she released a music video for her song, Buta. 2024 On May 20, Haato reached 1,500,000 subscribers on her YouTube channel during a guerrilla karaoke stream, making her the 20th HoloLive member, and also the second member in the first generation to reach the milestone. On July 9, she debuted her 6th 2D costume. She uses low braided twin tails with red ribbons as well as various hairpins, including a small fork and knife, ketchup bottle, and cherries. Haato can also use a hamburger-shaped hat with the top resembling a baton. Haato wears a retro waitress-inspired outfit. Haato uses a red short shirt, with white polka dots that leaves her belly button exposed, with black and white striped edges and collar. To the right she has a hamburger-shaped name tag, with Hachima written on it. Her skirt is also red, with white polka dots, with a black frilled edge. On top of it, she has a white and blue apron, with badges of a Haaton burger and fries. The apron also has Hachima restaurant written on it. Haato uses long, white socks with red, striped edges. Her shoes are black with red heels. She can also use a bikini top resembling her shirt with a black bra. On August 10, during her birthday, Haato debuted her 4th original song, Ban RTA. On September 6, Haato debuted her 7th 2D costume, introducing the Kamau persona. Haato has messy short hair with no bangs, and a short pigtail above. Haato wears a black sport crop top with her name on the top left, and Hachima at the white edge in the bottom. Her shorts are black, and have a white belt. She uses a black long stocking on her left leg, and leg belts on her right, and a short sock. Haato wears black and pink sneakers. She can also use headphones and a black jacket with pink assets. On November 9, Haato debuted a pink spider hoodie for her 6th 2D costume. On December 9, she debuted her 8th 2D costume. Haato uses a hairstyle similar to her main cut but with slightly straight bangs, and black ribbons and hearts. She can have a white tarantula on top of her head. Haato wears a dress with a spiderweb motif, cleavage, and comes in 2 colors, black and white. The black version has puffy black sleeves, and a red ruby in the collar. The white version has a black choker with a small ruby and a silver spider hanging from it. Her arms are partially covered in bandages. Her skirt has a spiderweb to the right with a black spider and a butterfly. Her skirt has a crinoline. She has short socks and shoes with spiders. 2025. On February 24, Haato released her 5th original song, Who To. Events. On September 12, 2019, she made an appearance in Hololive's collaboration with Dawn of the Breakers as one of the characters alongside Natsuro Matsuri, Shirakami Fubuki, Nakiri Ayam, Uzura Subaru, Sakura Maiko, and Oakama Mio. Mascot, and fans. Her fan base is officially called Aatan, which is a combination of Aatu, and Tun, pig. They are represented by a yellow plush pig that also works as her mascot. The pigs are shown with stitches around their necks, and frequently wearing signs with the Japanese characters for decapitation or beheading written on them. She is sometimes depicted as playfully manhandling them, and sometimes outright even severing their heads. She often calls her viewers senpai when tweeting. Relationships. Notable units, and groups. Haato is part of Hololive Australia, alongside Takanashi Kiera, Hako's Bales, and Tsukumo Sana. Hawata, alongside Tsunomaki Adam. Holo Chaos, alongside Kuriji Ali. Hololive English Generation 0, or Holometh, alongside Kiryu Koko. Karashigumi, or Kar-As High, as Akai, alongside Shiranui Flare, Shiranui, and Hoshimaki Suisei, Hoshimaki. Kamishimaros, alongside Shirakami Fubuki, and Aki Rosenthal. Kobo-chama, alongside Kobo Konaru. Kaofi, along with Arani IO15. Dokari Labyrinth, or Doki Labi, alongside Mamo Suzunene, and Omaru Polka. Quotes. AHH, the pepperoni, pepperoni. You know the pepperoni? The new one. I always order the Domino. Domino pepperoni and without pepperoni. I always order the pepperoni and without pepperoni. Pepperoni. I like pepperoni, yeah. I always order the cheese pan. AHH. How can I explain? I can explain by my drawing. I always order like the cheese pan that it has cheese on here, this part, the ear of pizza. And then, I order WH when I order pepperoni, the ear it always have a pepperoni on H on a top, but I pick up these away. 'Cause I don't eat it. And then I eat the cheese pan pizza. Okay. You understand? Understandable. Pepperoni. Yes. Trivia. Name. Akai is a homophone for red. Haato is the Japanese pronunciation of the English word heart. Notably, Hachima takes the Japanese initials of Haato and ends her name with chama, a combination of the Japanese honorifics chan, meaning small, often used to imply cuteness or endearment. Especially around children, and sama, used to imply power or superiority, comparable to, and often translated as, English lord, lady, or master. Likes and dislikes. A famous clip from 2020 depicts her efforts to describe her preferred pizza, pepperoni and without pepperoni, with a cheese crust. In 2024, she provided more detail about the pizza order. When she was in high school in Australia, she often ordered pizza from Uber Eats. She would order pepperoni pizza, but pick off the pepperoni after it arrived. In retrospect, she doesn't know why she didn't just order plain cheese pizza, but thinks perhaps it was because she enjoyed picking off the pepperoni. Later, in America, she ordered pizza with tomato, and put green Tabasco, and red Tabasco sauce on it. Miscellaneous. As seen in her English introduction, she is able to speak some English due to studying abroad in Australia. As of December 2020, she has graduated from high school there, and has returned to Japan. She orchestrated the spread of her Hachima nickname, by pretending that her older sister was using it, as she wanted to be called something less formal than Haato-sama. However, thanks in part to Hyosho Marine during a game of Keep Talking, and Nobody Explodes, fans usually stylize it as Hachima. Haato's channel has changed names the most of all HoloLive members. Originally named Haato Channel, during her introduction, later on when she established her Hachima persona the channel was renamed Hachima CH. Then in circa January 2021, the channel was renamed again to Hachima CH. Later in February 2021, during the Hachima X Akai Haato story arc, the channel was renamed Akai Haato CH. Later in the same month it was changed to Hachima CH. The Akai Haato name briefly returned on early May 2021, then changed back to Hachima, at some point in July 2021. As a result of these names changes, Haato's channel lost the verification mark. Her Twitter username also followed similar name changes, first adopting the Hachima name on January 2021, then in February 2021, during the Hachima X Akai Haato story arc, the username was changed to Akai Haato, only to be changed back to Hachima a few days later. Later in the same month it was changed to Hachima in all uppercase. As with her YouTube channel, Akai Haato name briefly returned on early May 2021, but it was changed back to Hachima later on the same month. She enjoys playing games that are designed to frustrate players, and at one point claimed that she could no longer find joy in normal games. She occasionally streams herself cooking, but the resulting food is often burned, likely because she doesn't seem to understand how to use cooking oil. It's also worth noting that she usually cooks gyoza, a type of dumpling, into or with her cooking. She is allergic to eggs, and therefore cannot cook, or eat anything containing them. She has Japanese-English mixed ancestry, being 1/4 British. She is very close with Nijisanji's Hoshikawa Sarah, with whom she shares many similar interests. Both girls revealed that they had watched each other's debut streams in real time. Sarah also revealed that she had considered auditioning for the role of Akai Haato. When she saw the recruitment ad, she never actually applied, and that she watched Haato's debut stream to see who ended up getting the role. Her favorite English musician is Alan Walker. Aside from Australia and Japan, Haato has visited both Singapore and the Philippines before, and has loved both countries. She is also planning to visit North America and Europe someday. She went to Jollibee back in her visit in the Philippines. She also claims that her stomach reacted badly when she drank tap water during her stay, resulting in her stomach having higher tolerance than usual. Her gothic model has her twin tails twitch whenever her eyes blink. She sometimes collaborates with members of the HoloLive English branch, in order to practice her English skills, even going so far as to jokingly refer to herself as HoloLive N0THGen in stream titles and descriptions. Her infrequent collaborations with HoloLive N's Amelia Watson, combined with their similarities in physical appearance, blue-eyed blondes, and personality, very chaotic, but also hard-working and creative, can also be very kind and caring, has led to some fans joking that they could be mistaken for sisters, a joke that they seem to be aware of, as they have on occasion referred to each other as sister on Twitter. She is the 20th HoloLive member to join the official HoloLive subreddit as a moderator. She shares the same character illustrator as Quantama, Utsuji Sawa and Katarina Cutie. Her birthday, August 10th, is Healthy Heart Day in Japan, established in 1985 by the Japanese Government Ministry of Health and Welfare. It is Goro ways from the numbers 8/10. Read as Haato Heart. Hachima x Haato storyline. As noted by Himori Luna, Hachima tried teaching her how to speak Hachima Chamago, which is a language entirely comprised of syllables in Hachima's name repeated ad nauseum. Whether this is another of Hachima's weird jokes is unknown. As revealed in her English class Steam, one rule of Hachima Chamago is that any two-syllable gets replaced with chama. Example, tomato gets turned into chama ma chama when read in Hachima Chamago. Hachima is fond of the number 8. While confusing to Westerners, the number 8 is pronounced haki in Japanese, and simply as ha, when read with kanji shortenings. She even marks every 8 of the month as Hachima no Hai, Hachima Day. Hachima's Twitter bio from February to September 2021 states Aatu and Hachima are apparently sisters. It was implied in various loosely scripted live streams, featuring uniquely edited animated scenes, and borrowed fan art. That Aatu's head is now a part of Hachima's body, being seen with her new 2D model implements her first model's head, and hair onto her shirtless gothic model. These unique short animatics have also been uploaded individually out of context, while few live streams that have featured these animations and scenes in context have been private due to using copyrighted music to tell their story. The stitches around her neck seem to have healed since said incident. As time went on, it became more clear that Hachima was, indeed, still alive, and whole in spite the severe beheading. This has to do with Hachima's abilities.